TMNT universe is meant for adult collectors and Ninja Turtles fans. Welcome to TMNT Universe, I'm X. Over the past few weeks there have been a couple of interesting news stories, so I thought I'd round them all up and give them to you here. So, let's go!
It's the #1 source for Turtles fans, with reviews and news. TMNT Universe.
Oh, I feel like the Technodrome just rolled over me.
Here, have some chicken soup. It'll make you feel better.
How's it going? I'm sure a lot of you out there, like me, are getting a little stir-crazy considering we're all stuck at home. But at least we have people like Pixel Dan and Randy to bring us some good news in these times. So, let's take a look at some of the cool things that are going to be coming our way in the future. First off, it's definitely a bummer that San Diego Comic-Con was canceled. Although Comic-Con did release some news that they were going to be doing something called Comic-Con at Home, but we'll have to wait for more news to see what that is. But Randy did reveal to Pixel Dan that we will still be getting some reveals and exclusives this summer, and that they should be a little more available considering that there's nothing that has to go to the show, so they should all be online. So fingers crossed everybody who wants to get these things can get them, and they always bring it when they do these exclusives. We got the street diorama and movie figures there, the 8-pack with the original Toon figures. They always have something exciting and surprising, so I can't wait to see what they bring this year. They also mentioned that they had an awesome display similar to the one from last year and Toy Fair for Comic-Con that is going to have even more surprises and cool figures in it. So I can't wait to see what they bring with their virtual Comic-Con. We also got an update on the Loot Crate figures that'll be coming, also with a couple of reveals. But let's start off with Mirage Shredder. It looks like he's on schedule to release mid to late June, and I can't wait to get my hands on him. He's basically a repaint, redeco of the original New York Comic-Con comic-style Shredder that was released a couple of years ago. He comes with more of a blue look and an actual silver instead of gray paint, and it looks good. So does the comic book detailing. He also has a couple of accessories like a bow and arrow, which is new to these figures, and also a chain comma with real chain. Randy also said that this figure is sort of gauging interest in Mirage figures. Now, they released the 4 Turtles back in, I believe, 2008, as well as an exclusive San Diego Comic-Con Mouser pack and an exclusive April O'Neil. Now, they planned 2 Foot Soldiers, Shredder, Foot Elite, and an Utrum for 2008, 2009, but those never got released. They were later released as a New York Comic-Con 4-pack, but never saw the actual market. So, if this sells well, maybe they'll be able to get some more Mirage figures and release those in specialty market, kind of like they're doing with the Turtles in Time figures. And hopefully this happens so I can finally get a comic-accurate Utrum, Triceraton, and Fugitoid. Maybe even a Silvani Romero. Moving on, we finally got the release of what the video game pack is going to have. Just like the other Loot Crates, it's going to have a t-shirt and some other accessories, but this figure is worth the price of admission. It's a shell-shocked Ninja Turtle. I love this figure for 2 reasons. 1, it's a glow-in-the-dark figure. I love glow-in-the-dark figures. 2, it's one of those obscure references that may not get released in a regular line, and hopefully this is the kind of thing that Loot Crate is going to allow them to do. Which is exactly what the next reveal is going to do. We finally got confirmation that the cartoon figure Loot Crate is going to have Rocksteady in a bunny suit from the Turtles in the Hair. That also matches up with the bonus pack, if you've gotten all 3, of Bebop in the bunny suit. Now, we did get a tease earlier this month around Easter with a picture of the 2 Easter baskets from NECA Toys. So hopefully we'll get a look at these figures soon. Jumping over to the Walmart exclusive movie figures by NECA, we should start seeing those pop up at about the end of June. The first set is going to be Casey Jones and Raph in the trench coat, and we've already gotten some looks at those in package, so I'm hyped about that. The sculpt on our favorite Maniac is awesome. Unfortunately, he does not have Casey's face underneath. They couldn't get the likeness rights, but let's be honest, most of us were going to display it with the hockey mask on anyway. Also in the Walmart exclusive 2-packs, we'll be seeing a re-release of the Ninja Turtles. These are basically the same figures that have been released before through Comic-Con and GameStop, but these come with an additional resting headband that kind of hangs down onto their shoulders. But if you've already got the figures, they're essentially the same thing. We can also expect to see a 2-pack of the movie Foot Ninja. This 2-pack will come with all the accessories that the figures came with previously, but with the addition of the weapons rack that was only available in the Capture of Splinter pack from San Diego Comic-Con. They also revealed that 2 more 2-packs will be coming from the 1990 movie, and if you've been paying attention so far, you know that's 2 more figures than have actually been released. We still have Splinter and Shredder, but that leaves 2 mystery figures. So what I think is going to happen is that we're going to get a Shredder and Tatsu pack and a Splinter and April pack. That'll pretty much round out most of the cast for the 1990 Ninja Turtle movie. But there's one more additional item, and then we'll get an accessory pack coming out holiday 2020 for the 1990 movie. What's in that pack? Your guess is as good as mine. And moving away from 1990 and all the way into Secret of the Ooze, we got our first look at the package layout for Tokka and Rahzar. Tokka and Rahzar should be coming out later in the summer, also as a Walmart exclusive. And even further into the year, we should finally get our hands on Super Shredder. As far as the 2-packs go, they should be within the same price range as the ones at Target. The exception to that being the Tokka and Rahzar, because they are such large figures, will probably be more in the $60 range as opposed to the $50 range. But that price can change. So what's next?
The invention that will put an end to those accursed turtles at last! Metalhead!
In the cartoon-styled figures, we got to see the final version of Metalhead, or as they're calling him, the Mighty Metalhead. Metalhead is the first Ultimate for the Turtles line, and just like the other Ultimate figures from NECA, he comes with a ton of cartoon-accurate accessories. And similar to the other Ultimates at Target, he will retail for about $30, and he comes in this awesome VHS-style package that looks like the old cartoon tapes from the 80s. Metalhead will be one of 2 Ultimates coming out this year. The other one is Krang's android body. We got a look at this huge figure back at Toy Fair, and we saw some of his accessories like Baby Shredder and some interchangeable hands. But we got an update on a couple of other accessories. For one, this figure will come with a new version of Krang. A larger sculpt, maybe looks a little bit more like the cartoon, but he'll fit inside the belly of the android body. But he'll also be able to fit inside the Bubble Walker that was previously released. This figure will also come with a bath towel, an accessory familiar to fans of the cartoon. As I mentioned earlier, Randy talked about their awesome displays that they've had at Toy Fair and Comic-Con, and that this year's San Diego Comic-Con was planned to be no different, and they were going to have an epic display showcasing plenty of new figures. Plans have changed since Comic-Con has been canceled, so now it looks like we're going to get a look at this display during their virtual Comic-Con or virtual NECA fan event, happening in July in place of Comic-Con. Part of that display would have been the Toon Street diorama, which was possibly being set up as an exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con, but is now more likely going to be sold through specialty stores like the video game figures have been. The Street diorama was planned to come with tons of cartoon accessories. We saw a couple of those at Toy Fair, some trash cans, fire hydrant, the radio tower for Channel 6. But it doesn't stop there, as NECA seems to have their sights set on the future with things like a sewer playset that would fit underneath the Toon Street diorama. That's still just on the drawing board, but it's awesome that they're thinking that far ahead. Some of the other items that they're thinking that far ahead on are vehicles like the Party Wagon. There's a lot of stuff in the works that has yet to make it to market, and I guess it's all going to depend on how well these figures do. They seem to have interest in producing every figure they can, but some are going to be a little more difficult than others. We're seeing that with likeness rights of things like Casey Jones, but there are other characters like Usagi Yojimbo, which is not entirely owned by the Ninja Turtle property, but they are reaching out and seeing what they can do about getting him into the line. To get some of this stuff to market, there's a lot of testing that has to happen. To get something like a Party Wagon or Sewer Playset, a higher priced item, this holiday season NECA's going to try something out with a $100 item coming to Target. If this item does well at retail, then it opens the door for more expensive items like a Party Wagon. But specifically, the $100 price tag makes me think it'll be a 4-pack of figures. If each 2-pack costs $50, a 4-pack is $100. And my vote for that is a Punk Frogs 4-pack, which Randy hinted at in the Pixel Dan interview, but also in an interview with Toy Shiz, Trevor Zammit seemed to drop the same hint. So I think it's a safe bet that we're going to see the Punk Frogs, especially since we have Leatherhead, which opens up a lot of posing possibilities.
It sure be some good life.
This sure is hard work.
We also learned that other versions of the Turtles are not off the table, like the IDW comic, or even figures based on the Coming Out of Their Shells tour. But right now, with the movie, the cartoon, the video game, and whatever else they have to bring in the near future, they've got their hands full. So we're going to have to wait a little longer to see different versions of the Turtles. And since that could be quite a while, let's talk about the near future. Wave 3 should start shipping or appearing in stores about mid to late June. We recently got a full gallery of Wave 3 showing off some awesome figures with some awesome accessories. These will be the first new figures we've gotten in a while, especially considering that Wave 2 was mostly re-releases with the exception of Rocksteady and Bebop. And being the only figures in Wave 2, Rocksteady and Bebop were harder to find. But considering that these are all new, maybe Wave 3 will be a little bit easier to get out in the wild. Randy also said that Wave 4 and Wave 5 are pretty much done and ready right behind Wave 3. And I'm sure that they've already got 6 and 7 in the pipeline as well. And some other news drop that I'm sure will make a lot of people happy is that we are going to get Casey and Splinter in the quarter scale line. Now, I don't tend to buy the quarter scale because I don't have the room for them, but I know there are a lot of collectors out there that have been wondering this, and now you have your answer. But also in the quarter scale line, they are releasing the Toon Turtle that we saw at Toy Fair. The plan is to release all 4 cartoon turtles in the quarter scale line, but that these figures will have an innovative face changing system so that you can get different expressions for these different figures. I don't expect this to get scaled down to the 1/12 scale figures, but I'm kind of hoping that we get a release of different heads for those figures because I really like the head on the quarter scale Raphael. It looks more like a cartoon, and I would really like this for my 6 to 7 inch figures. And that wraps it up for NECA, but Pixel Dan kept the news train going with an interview with Brian Flynn. A couple of turtle tidbits here. It seems like things are moving along with the Ultimate figures, but there might be a slight delay due to shipping issues because of the recent virus. But it sounds like Waves 3 and 4 are already in the bag, but they're waiting to release any information on Wave 3 until we at least have Wave 1 in our hands, which hopefully will be soon. And just like Randy with NECA, Brian expressed interest in releasing some larger items like Party Wagon Sewer Playset, and they already have a track record with Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain, but he's holding off any info on that until he gets Snake Mountain into the hands of the people who purchased it. And probably my favorite piece of news, we discovered that their license isn't limited to just recreating the original Playmates figures, and in fact, they are the license holder for the Archie style turtles. Fingers crossed, that means we're going to get some Archie style figures, even if they're just in reaction, but I would really like some Ultimate versions of characters that never got released, like Jaguar, Dreadmon, and Maligna. There's a lot of characters throughout the Archie universe that have never seen figure form, and I think Super 7 would do a great job. That about wraps it up for the current news. Honestly, Pixel Dan is killing it. He is doing a great job keeping the toy hype going, and I, for one, am thankful. I'd also like to say thanks to Randy Falk and Brian Flynn for taking the time to sit down with Dan and keep all of us fans informed on what's going on. Watching Pixel Dan during lockdown has really helped me get through it, and I suggest you check him out if you haven't before. There's also a couple of other guys to check out if you're interested in toy news. Dan Larson over at Toy Galaxy, Robo over at Whoosh, Toy Shiz. There's so many out there that are doing fantastic work right now. Please stop by their channels and give them a look. And if there's a favorite that I've missed, leave them down in the comments. I'd love to check them out. And keep an eye on Pixel Dan's channel because he's going to keep doing these interviews and I can't wait to see what other news we get. But for today, that's all I got. So, later dudes.
Oh, Nurse Metalhead. All right, everyone in bed, and I mean now.
Hey guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to kick that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I upload every Turtle Tuesday, so you can always come back to see what's new. You can also check me out on various social media, links in the description. And as always, for all things Turtles, check TMNT Universe.